Well, hello there, everyone, and welcome once again to Inspirations for Your Life. It's great to have you here with me today. Today, ladies and gentlemen, is a Tuesday. It is June 30th, and that's 2026. That means it's the last day of June, and tomorrow will be July 1st. Can't believe that already. All right, guys, great to have you here. If this is your very first time here, I want to take the opportunity to say welcome and thank you. Really do appreciate you guys coming out and hearing me or watching me, depending on whether you're listening to the show or watching or both. And so if you've been here before, whether that was one time, 5 times, 10 times, 50, 100 or more, or even lost track, I want to say thank you and welcome, but I also want to say the words welcome back. So it's great to have people that enjoy the quality and content of the show that I produce here on the Inspirations for Your Life show, as well as the other shows that I produce. So thank you very, very much from the bottom of my heart for coming out and making this part of your life story. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, to check BelieveMeChief.com right after the show is over so you can get my short form content and get my long form content, articles, reels, and so much more. If you're thirsty, I have an RO water here with some lemon. Feel free to go grab yourself something and come on back to the show. That is really tasty and delicious. All right, guys, let's kick the show off, all right? So this is Inspirations for Your Life, in case you're wondering where you are. The master topic for the week is how to let go and level up. This is Series 5. It's Show 27. And today's granular topic is identity shift equals real lasting change. Series 5, Show 27, episode number 4. And the theme is who you become drives what you do. Who you become drives what you do. Who you become drives what you do. And that's just not only a saying, there's truth in that. So welcome, everyone, officially to the Inspirations for Your Life show. I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, engineer, marketing specialist, video producer, podcast host, coach, keynote speaker, graduate student at Montclair State University, passionate lifelong learner, and now so grateful to be a published author. Yes. All right, guys. So today I'm focusing on something deeper than just our habits. We focus on identity because identity is the operating system behind every behavior that we elicit. And if you do not change identity, behavior will eventually revert back to what it was. And that's an interesting awareness for a lot of people that they miss. Now, the core message here, ladies and gentlemen, this is really important. Most people try to change their life through actions alone. It won't work. They add habits. They try discipline. They attempt routines, okay? But they keep the same identity running day in, day out underneath everything else, even though they've changed everything else around them. The identity hasn't changed. And because the identity hasn't changed, nothing's going to change. And identity always wins because identity determines consistency. Identity comes from the inside and pushes outward. A lot of times people try to change the outside of them, but not the inside. And then they get very unhappy with the results because change happens from the inside out. If you try to push it the other way around, it doesn't always work. In fact, it never works. Not motivation, not temporary effort, guys. Identity. And identity is linked to your core values, guys. That's important. So let's get into some points that help drive this home. Number 1, your self-image drives your daily routine more than your motivation does. Identity determines repetition and consistency. Number 2, replace I wish with I am becoming. Language programs future directions. Number 3, identity shifts from self-criticism to self-leadership. You stop reacting and start directing. Stop living in future me will fix it. Present identity creates present results. And I think that's important. A lot of people say, I'll do it tomorrow. But, tomorrow never comes, or people keep using an excuse to keep delaying tomorrow. Number 5, I am statements directly shape behavior patterns and cause change. Identity language rewrites the action. That's powerful, guys. Every aligned action reinforces your identity, and behavior becomes belief reinforcement. That's another powerhouse moment, guys. It's a powerhouse moment because when we come to that realization, life can change for us. Again, not overnight, but it can change for us. And I think that's an important thing to understand. Change does not happen in an instant. Change happens when you become aware. Okay? It happens only when you become aware of it. That's a very important thing to understand. It's about the awareness. The awareness. Okay? A lot of people miss that whole concept. And that's something that people struggle their whole lives to be able to get. Number 7, motivation is unnecessary when identity is aligned. Huh? What are you talking about? Okay. So consistency becomes automatic. All right. You must see, number 8, yourself as someone who follows through. Self-image determines execution. But again, this comes back to your core values. This comes back to who you are, to who you think you are. And that thought of who you think you are really creates who you are, okay? Number 9, your environment should match your desired identity. Now, our surroundings reinforce our behavior. But many times people don't feel inclined to change their environment because they don't think they can. I think that's an important thing that many people, like, they just don't really understand the why. All right? The why is something that many people just don't get, right? And they don't get it because they just don't get it. And it hurts people. All right? It hurts people. And that hurts people because they don't know what to do or why they should do something or why they shouldn't do something. But they do what they can, right? Then they get frustrated. They get frustrated. But I think that's an important thing to understand. And maybe you're going to say to me, John, I don't quite get that. I don't quite understand that. And that can hurt people. It can hurt people because they don't necessarily know why things are going a certain way. But I want to tell you that you can make these changes in your life if you believe you can. If you believe you can't, well, you're also right about those things, all right? Our surroundings will always reinforce our behavior. And the sooner that we learn that one lesson, the sooner that we can make positive change in our lives, all right? Again, I didn't say yesterday. I didn't say tomorrow. I said when we're in alignment. When we're in alignment, and that alignment will propel us to the next level. And the alignment gets us to act, gets us to think, believe, and do the things that we normally wouldn't if we weren't aligned. Okay? That's important. I think a lot of people, when, they're under a little pressure, they react, but they don't necessarily take the time to, smell the coffee, smell the roses. Number 10, your room, calendar, and circle reflect your identity. Structure supports transformation. Okay? That transformation has the ability to empower you. Number 11, guys, identity is built through evidence, not intention. That's where people go wrong. Proof creates belief. But when people are not aligned, guess what happens? This whole thing falls apart, right? If there's no inner support, how does it stay together? Let's think about a tent for a minute, okay? You know, these pop-up tents. If you don't have a good, solid support, like the 4 legs, what's going to happen? The tent is going to fall down, right? Those tents need 4 legs to be able to stand and support itself. And then sometimes they even need sandbags or the weights, 2 of them on each leg. So, you know, that's basically 8 different ones. And that keeps it, if it's windy, you need that. Number 12, small wins reinforce identity transformation. Now, progress builds internal certainty. Stop using outdated, number 13, labels for yourself, because that's going to get you into more trouble. Old identity blocks growth. But yet people do it every day. Why? Because the Joneses are doing it. If the Joneses are doing it, well, then I guess it's something we should be doing. Wrong answer. Number 14, speak about yourself with intention and respect. Language shapes identity, direction. It shapes it. It molds it. It creates it. It becomes it. But it doesn't just happen at the flick of a switch or the snap of a finger. Many people don't get this paradigm of the identity shift equals real change. People try to change everything else, but they don't try to change their identity. Then they're like, I'm still where I am. I didn't make any changes. And that drives people nuts. You got to work on your identity, right? That's the key. Number 15, guys. Act like your future self, even in private. People say, oh, what does it matter? I'm in private. Who really cares? So I ask, it matters. Because when you act a certain way in private, you will act that way in public. It becomes your identity. Private behavior defines the public outcome. Both say, oh, it doesn't really matter. Nobody's here. Nobody's watching me. Your actions will take on a life of their own if you're true to yourself. If you're not true to yourself, they'll also take on a life of their own, but they'll take on a path that you don't want to go down. I think that's a very hard thing for a lot of people is, why am I not changing? It's because your identity is not changing. You know, give an example. If you have a duck, okay, right? And you dress the duck up like a dog, it's still a duck. If you dress the duck up like any other animal, maybe a deer, it's still a duck, right? So until we change our identity, you're not going to change your identity of an animal, but you get my point. You have to be what you're becoming. You have to believe that day in and day out. Number 16, think in roles such as creator, leader, and builder. These are paramount to your success. Identity is role-based. Okay? It's not ego-based. It is role-based. And when you understand how to connect with your identity and others, you become a true servant leader. You don't have any bad agenda items. You're doing it because you think you're on a path. You're testing it. And you're doing it with humility. And you start to get nudges that you're going the right way. Number 17, when identity changes, decisions change instantly. But people don't change their identity instantly. That's the whole problem. Choices become automatic, autonomous, right? How many times you go to grandma's house, right? And then during the week, you're at the same traffic light and you have to make a left to go somewhere else, but you still make a right because you're used to going to grandma's house. You get my point. The environment causes us to act without even thinking. Number 18. You ready for number 18? I want you to align your habits with the identity you are building. People say to me, John, I've done all these things, but I hadn't created wealth. Well, keep doing those things. If you do the things that will bring you wealth, it will bring you wealth. But it does not happen overnight. Actions sometimes get people upset because they're not getting what they want. But when you keep doing the behavior that's worked for others, it will work for you. But it takes time. Habits are identity signals, guys. That's the key. Number 19, choose one identity and act on it today. Could you do that? Or tomorrow if you're going to bed now? Identity requires activation. Activation. And that's a very interesting set of words. Activation is basically an awareness of what something is and your conscious mind's thoughts to take action on it. Number 20, guys. Identity shifts are subtle, but they're very, very powerful. Small internal changes create large external results. Did you hear what I said? Small changes create big results. Small changes, not big ones. Number 21, you are constantly rewriting your default settings. Behavior is a program. And behavior becomes programmable. It can be changed. But when a program's running, it's not so easy to just do it unless we put some work in. We put some elbow grease in, right? We put some conscious effort in. Number 22, old identity is reactive, while new identity is intentional. And I said before, when you're planning, regardless of whether you're trying to make sure there isn't a disaster, when you plan, right, and you're proactive, it's better than being reactive. Reactive is stressful. You might miss things. And if you don't make the right decision, it could be 10 times worse because now the emergency is there. Awareness changes response patterns. Again, not overnight, but it does change them. Number 23, old identity is distracted while new identity is focused. It's focused. Attention reflects identity. When you ask most people, what is their identity? What are they about? They will just look at you with a dead stare and be like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what my identity is. I get up every day. I do this. I do that. What's your identity? Who are you? Who are you to yourself? Who are you to the world? I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm an author. I'm an engineer. I'm a successful business person. A person that creates what I need in my world, what I want in my world. A person that respects others. A person that understands there is no no. When I want to make a change, I find a way. Nothing stops me from achieving my goals. Number 24, old identity is stuck while new identity evolves. That's why a lot of people don't want to change their identity. Oh, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I'm ready for that. I don't know what that's going to entail. They're scared. Iteration, guys, replaces stagnation. That's an interesting one. So doing things over and over again gets us to replace stagnation, or procrastination is the bigger way to say that. Number 25, identity-based motivation creates long-term stability. It outlasts our emotion. So if we do something because of who we are, even if we're not that person yet, if we believe in it, we'll grow into it. I am becoming this. I'm becoming wealthy. I am becoming successful. I am becoming a great student. I am. Because maybe you don't believe that you're that, but you can believe that you're becoming it. Each day you're getting closer to it. And the mind won't really challenge that one. I'm becoming a multimillionaire. I'm becoming a great author. I'm becoming a great friend. I am becoming a wise business leader. I'm becoming a global influencer. I am becoming. A lot to think about there, right? Number 26. You are not pretending. You are practicing your identity. And I think that's another important thing. When people say these things, well, I'm not that yet. No, you're practicing your new identity. And it won't be long, friends, until that identity replaces your old. And then you don't have to say, I'm becoming. I am. Repetition will build your reality. I know your mind's like, hey, I don't believe in that. So you could say, I'm becoming this. I'm getting better every day. Maybe you're learning a new language. I'm getting better at Italian every day. I'm getting better at this language every day. I'm getting better at whatever it is I want to get better at. And your mind will push you toward that, like the RAS we talked about, like looking at the cars on the road, right? Their ticker activating system. Number 27, your actions are proof of your new identity. Your actions. Behavior validates the belief. When you take certain steps, that's saying, hey, I believe this is coming. This is on the way. It's in transit to me right now. And it could arrive any day, any minute. Number 28, stop identifying with the version you are leaving. That version's going. Let it go. Let it go. Let go of it. This whole week is about letting things go, right? Transition requires separation. Separation becomes uncomfortable. Success lies, ladies and gentlemen, where there is discomfort. It lies where there is discomfort. Number 29, identity defines the ceiling of behavior. The only ceiling, ladies and gentlemen, is what you put on it. There are no limits to anything. It's what you make the ceiling to be. Limits are self-constructed, and that comes by you or by other people around you from things you see, hear, touch, taste, or smell. So when you take in this data, be aware of it, but don't let it limit you. That's a big key. Number 30, this is the moment you stop being the old version of you. We always talk about what's one of my goals here? To help everyone become, including myself, better versions of ourselves every day, to become even better. Identity reset begins now. You got to be ready for it. If you're not ready for it, it will just keep moving. The door that was once open will close, and it may not open again for a long time. And that's a truth, guys. Opportunities come by us, right? And sometimes they come by, we see the door, but the door is locked. The door comes again, the door is open. That's your moment to seize it and enter the door. Even if you see the door again, does not mean the door is going to be able to be opened. You may never see that door again, but the opportunity to get in may not be there anymore. So when something presents itself, take the steps. Take the action. In closing today, here is the truth. Are you guys ready for the truth? All right. You do not change your life by force. That's not how it works. Many people think, oh, I got to just push this. I got to just push this. I got to just pound this into you. Nope, that's not going to stay. You change your life by your identity. Because you see, identity determines behavior. Now, I know what a lot of you are saying, and it's a very, very, it's a good question, okay? People say this to me all the time, and what is that question? The question is, how do we program our identity for success? How do we do that? How do we program our identity for success? You got to decide who you're becoming. Don't ask, what do I want to do and be? Who do I want to become? Create identity statements. I keep my promises. I solve problems. I create value every day. I become stronger through challenges. I choose progress over perfection. I'm becoming healthier. I'm walking more. I'm eating healthy meals. I'm drinking water. I am curbing my sweets. I'm still enjoying them, but I'm curbing them. I'm not having as much of them. Eliminate identity killers. I'm lazy. I'm bad with money. I'm terrible with technology. I'm always late. Get rid of those. Protect your environment. Books that educate. People inspire, like myself, keynote speakers and authors. Organize your workspace. Healthy routines. Visualize things with emotion, guys. Repeat until these become automatic. Every morning, ask, who am I becoming? What does that person do today? What's one action I can take right now? Every evening, ask, did my actions match my identity? Where did I improve? What's my next vote for the person I want to become? The key is simple. Your identity shapes your habits. Your habits create your results. Your results reinforce your identity. When you intentionally strengthen that cycle with consistent actions, lasting change becomes much more likely than you thought was even possible. And behavior, ladies and gentlemen, will always determine the outcome. So if you want a new life, do not just change what you do. Change who you are becoming. Ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, and this has been Inspirations for Your Life. And this is where identity becomes transformation. That is the key to success. Have a great night, everyone, and check out BelieveMeAchieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations.